Hey everyone. So most of you know that our daughter's been having some health issues, Charlotte. And a lot of you have been asking questions, especially in terms of like how you can be praying for us and supporting us right now. So we just want to take a minute and kind of explain a little bit about what's going on and like what our family is going to be walking through the next few months and what you can do as a community to support us. So a couple weeks ago, Charlotte had some MRIs done of her spine, and they found a large cyst in her spinal cord over by the cervical part of her neck. There was a small like hairline cyst back when she was 17 months old, and it's grown quite a lot in the last year and a half to 2 years. So we're looking at something that's not a medical emergency, but very serious. We're not 100% sure what it's from or what's causing it. And because we don't know and there's no clear answers, we need to have some additional tests run to figure it out. If we cannot find another source or reason as to why she has a cyst and why it's growing so quickly, they will have to do a pretty risky surgery on the back of her head, taking out part of her skull and opening up the back of her head in an attempt to hopefully relieve maybe some pressure that's causing the spinal fluid or the fluid that's leaking into her spinal canal. In the meantime, she is regressing pretty quickly in terms of her motor ability. Her hands are having what's called claw hand syndrome, and it's not complete in the sense that she can still move her hands, but they are getting weaker, and it's much more difficult for her to do normal everyday things like holding silverware or coloring. And my kids are being really loud in the background here. But so like her day-to-day tasks are becoming much more challenging for her. It's requiring a lot of hands-on help from us as her parents, and she's got some amazing therapists that are working with her and helping her both learn how to kind of cope with some of the pain that she's experiencing, and also different tools that she can use to help her do things on her own while she can. But if we can't figure out what's going on or figure out a way to stop the leaking in her spinal canal, it's continuing to put pressure on her spinal canal, which is damaging the nerves, and it can potentially lead to life-threatening like shutting down like organs. It can kind of paralyze her and affect her motor ability. So it's quite serious. But we are working with a great team of doctors. They've been amazing with her so far. In fact, the doctor that found this cyst was originally not even doing an MRI of her spinal cord. He was originally going to do an MRI of her brain, but in looking at old pictures, he found something that her doctors previously missed when we were in New York. So we are just really blessed that we have the doctors that are working with us. They seem to be really on top of everything, and we're really blessed by the hospital that we're working with. We just have a lot of really good resources. Her therapists have been amazing, not just for her, but also for us as her parents, giving us just really helpful support. So we feel like we're in really good hands. Obviously, we know that Charlotte is God's child, and that as much as Alex and I love her, that he loves her so much more. And we know that we can trust him with her care as we walk through this, both in terms of her suffering through this and her healing process, and then even the potential of there being complications with the surgery, and even with the MRIs, because it's such high risk and she'll be under anesthesia for so long. So as we come into the next few months, there's still a lot of unknowns. We don't have a date yet for the next MRI, but we know it'll be relatively soon. And then in terms of whether or not she needs surgery, it'll depend on what the MRI shows. And from there, I think that they'll probably move forward pretty quickly, considering how large the cyst is in her spinal cord. There are significant concerns with how her symptoms are presenting at this point. She is stable. She has really good days, and she has really bad days at this point. Her bad days can leave her really struggling to function, struggling to walk. She can be in a lot of pain. But, she has good days, and on those good days, we're just taking her out. We're taking her to the park. We're taking her to the pool, just letting her enjoy being who she is and to explore the world around her. So a lot of the pictures that you guys will see will be of those good days. And I wanted to let you all know that she's doing really good in spite of everything that's going on, and she's incredibly strong, and she has such a tender heart. I think that she's going to be okay. But with all that said, obviously, please pray for us. Please pray for our family in this. Pray for Charlotte for peace and comfort. That her doctors, would have the tools that they need and the insight and wisdom that they need to figure out how to help her and to stop this. And then also for Alex and I, that we would be what Charlotte needs right now in terms of both spiritual and emotional support, and that we would have the tools that we need to support her fully in this time frame. And then please pray for our marriage and for our family, that through this stressful time that God just uses this to continue to grow our relationships with each other and with our community. And as we get closer to talking about surgery, obviously we'll keep updating you, and we'll let you guys know what we need specifically around that time. But right now we really just need prayer. We really just need God to open up those right doors and to get this stuff moving pretty quickly. But we just wanted to kind of keep you all in the loop. I think we're going to continue updating you as we're going through. This is partly for our family that's long distance. Hi, guys. So that you guys can feel like you're kind of a part of this process with us, because I know it's really hard to be far away when we're going through something that's pretty serious and critical. But this is also for our church and for our friends and family that are both near and far, because we want you all to understand what's going on. We want to portray the same message to everyone, so there's no confusion. And we would just love to invite you to walk this with us, to be a part of this. We want to be transparent so you can see where we're struggling and where we're growing and how God is working through this, because that's how He's glorified. And we don't want this to become something that ends up tearing us apart, but that's used to strengthen us and to really use for God's glory. So we will keep updating you, but until then, we ask for prayers, and we just want to say that we love you guys, and we'll keep you in the loop. Bye.